All right, so let's get into scheduling information for this week, and some of this information we're going to cover as well is for what's going to happen for next month, for the month of October. Which most of the scheduling for October's allocations that dealers receive for December build dates won't actually go into effect until the week of the 14th. So that'll be the 10/17. That Thursday is when those scheduling will probably happen. So just so you know, it doesn't happen the very first week. A lot of times carries over, and it's usually kind of based on, like right now we just went over that we're doing our wholesale. Usually dealers have like a week to 10 days to put in their allocations that they received, what they want to take of those, if there are any supplements they want to put in, that kind of stuff. And then scheduling will start usually the next week after that. So that'll be the 17th of October. All right. First off, let's get in and cover the slide here and cover some of this terminology. When we talk about scheduling, this is kind of the scheduling notes that I like to talk about, and that is for people that have orders placed. So if you have an unscheduled order in the order banks, that means you've placed the order, but it hasn't been scheduled for production date. Those orders are put in the order bank. Not only your retail or customer orders, but also dealers put their stock orders and their fleet orders in that as well. They call it WebDo. The retail orders, that is a customer placed order, where a stock order will be is for stock or lot inventory. So if dealer gets enough allocations, they don't have enough retail orders, they need some stock. And we like to have, as dealers, stock. We like customers that need a vehicle and we have one already available. So that's very handy as well. Priority code, that's a priority given to an order by the dealer. 03 to 19 are retail orders for those customers, and they can be anywhere in between 03 to 19. So dealers can actually kind of decide, hey, you know what, this customer's been waiting a while, still hasn't been scheduled. We're going to move it down to an 03 to help his get scheduled next. And then the default is 19. So if you're out there and you have a 19, don't feel like you're behind anybody else, because if the dealer puts all theirs and leaves all theirs at the default, then it's okay. So that means everybody's would be at that same place. Now, stock can be anywhere from a 20 to 80. And the lower the better on that. So usually the ones that Ford pumps into dealers for stocks will usually be an 80. So when dealers, have put their own orders in, they can put them in the 20s, and they can be able to tell the difference between one that they brought in and one that we have. So scheduling, that is when Ford schedules an order for production dates in the future months. So like we're talking about scheduling for this week for production dates in November. So again, in advance. And then we do have those production dates. First, it'll get scheduled to the week, and as it gets closer, it'll get scheduled to the day. And sometimes those can move around, and depending on any constraints they might have or anything else like that, the dates, it won't change from being scheduled, but it could move back a month or back a day or two, and move around a little bit. Allocations. Ford gives dealers allocations to schedule their orders. The dealer needs an allocation to schedule an order in their order bank. Just having an order in there doesn't mean it's going to get scheduled necessarily unless a dealer has an allocation. So a dealer earns those allocations based on their sales performance of each model within the order bank. So if you have, like for us, we get a lot of F-150 allocations because we sell a lot of F-150s. We don't see as many Escapes because we don't sell quite as many Escapes as some other dealers. So it kind of goes hand in hand that way. Constraints, those are options that may be in short supply or take longer to build. Capacity kind of goes along with that. That's the planned production rate for a given motor, trim, or option. So like we know on Maverick, their capacity is to be able to produce 55% hybrids, 45% EcoBoost. So they kind of want their orders to be that same 55-45 ratio for those orders. So they'll look at that. So sometimes if it's off of that, then that's where that constraint comes into play if they have more orders than what their capacity is. And then job 1 and 2, that's a production run within a model year. They'll start off at the beginning of the year as a job 1, and then when they make it, if they need to make any changes to something, maybe they'll introduce a new feature that wasn't ready at job 1, they'll introduce that at job 2. If they need to make any changes throughout the year, like we're going to talk about later if you watch the live stream, where on the Explorer they made some significant changes, a lot of changes, because of some things they noticed, either a supply issue or something like that. But they made some big changes for Job 2, so the rest of those vehicles, the rest of that year, will be built in that format based on that specifications. And then balance out, that's the end of production, or balance out to produce a particular option or model. So there you go. So hopefully that makes some sense there. Now, moving in, we'll talk first about the 2025 model year Mustang. There's currently 679 unscheduled retail orders in the order bank for the 25 model year Mustang. The order banks are open for both the retail and stock ordering. And the only note in here they have is they are not scheduled this week, by the way. So no scheduling this week. But they do have a note in here. It says no dark horse handling packages or black appearance packages for next month. So when talk about scheduling information for those October allocations for those December build dates, they are going to schedule for 3 weeks in December. The plant will be down the last week of December. So they're going to schedule through the week of whatever that is, the third week. They're going to schedule into that week, and then the last week they're going to be actually on the plants will be shut down. So they'll have 3 weeks of production for December. That's why your numbers will be a little bit smaller. So they also said that they will be scheduling 3 weeks for the 60th anniversary as well, if you ordered one of those. So okay. Next is the 25 model year Escape. 179 unscheduled retail orders in the order bank. The order banks are open up for all versions, including your EcoBoost, as well as your hybrid and your plug-in hybrids. And they are doing cleanup scheduling this week, which means cleanup means that they want to clean up any allocations that are left that dealers might have. So if you have an allocation that hasn't been fulfilled, they want to clean that up to go into next month zero. Without owing any allocations to dealers. They are going to be scheduling for the weeks of November 4th or the weeks of November 25th. And then as we look forward into next month for those December build dates, they're going to schedule for 3 weeks in December. Or again, the first 3 weeks, plant closed the last week. And it does say that they really do need some 2.0 liter EcoBoost and 2.5 liter hybrid orders. So they're a little short on those orders. So there you go. Nothing else there. Next is the 25 model year Bronco Sport. The order banks are open up for the 25 model year, including your Sasquatch packages. Sasquatch packages will not be produced until Job 2, though. So just so you know, if you do order one, they won't schedule until Job 2. And yeah, there's currently 365 unscheduled retail orders in the order bank for the 25 model year, and they will they are going to be scheduling this week, cleanup scheduling as well for those build dates, the weeks of November 11th through the weeks of November 25th. That's what they're looking for. That's the startup for production for the 25 model year. Let's see what else in here. Be aware that retail scheduling for the 25 Bronco Sport will start October. So yeah, okay, we already knew that. So it says beware that retail scheduling for 25 model year Bronco Sport will start on October 17th. Well, that's not true. They must be talking about Job 2 and then put it in there. Sasquatch Outer Banks package will be available in the second quarter 1, as well as Badlands 1. And yeah, so there you go. Limited availability for the 17-inch matte black painted aluminum wheel that's standard on the Badlands, as well as the 225/65 R17 all-season tire. And then very limited, it says, I've never seen them actually put very in front of this. Very limited to exhausted availability is the Outer Banks series and the Badlands series, as well as the Outer Banks with the tech package, which I thought was required for Job 1, but there you go. For talking about next month, though, as we look forward on the Bronco Sports, for the month of October, they will be scheduling for 8 weeks of production. So they're going to be scheduling not only for December build dates, but also for all of January build dates as well. So it sounds like to me, this is all of the Job 1 scheduling is going to be scheduled next month. So they are going to wrap that up. And it doesn't say in here, Outer Banks tech package is required on all the Outer Banks for Job 1. So you can't order one without the tech package. So they're aware of that. Next up is the 24 model year Bronco. The order banks are open up right now for the 24 model year Bronco. It will be closing soon, and I'm going to talk about some things as part of it. Is it true for a live stream that might sway you into ordering a 24 instead of waiting for a 25? There currently is 514 unscheduled retail orders in the order bank for the Bronco. They are not scheduling this week. No scheduling this week. Order banks are going to close for the 24 model year later this month. I have two different dates in here, so I don't know. Ford had showed a date of 10/23, but then also showed a date of 10/30 for the Raptor, or the Bronco Raptor. So I don't know which of those dates is right. If they're going to close everything but the Raptor a week early, or if the one date is just a typo, because I've been told 10/30 is the date for a while, but that could change. It could anyway. We don't know. We do believe that the order banks are going to open up for the 25 model year October 15th, so just in a couple weeks away from now. So now they will be scheduled for balance out for the Bronco next month. So this is balance out for 24 model year, 3 weeks of production dates in December. Again, going to be closed that last week and then start January for a startup for 25. So this is the end of 24 model year that they're going to schedule this next month in October. So just so you're aware of that. So for dealers getting those last allocations. All right. Next up, 24 model year Mach-E. Currently 41 unscheduled retail orders in the order bank. The order banks are open up for the Mach-E right now. They should be closing October 23rd or so. And with a 25 model year order bank opening up probably the day before that is what they have for dates here. They are not scheduling this week, but as we look forward to next month, what they're doing for October's allocations will get scheduled for 3 weeks of production as they balance out for 24 model year. Balance out means that that is the end of production for the 24 model year. So they're going to schedule for the 3 weeks in December for the end of 24 model year. So they too are going to be starting the 25 model year in 25 calendar year in January. So, all right, next up, 25 model year Explorer. Currently 688 unscheduled retail orders in the order bank. The order bank is open up right now, including the Job 2 order bank is opened up right now. So Job 1 and how they're going to be built is done in a way of ordering. You can't order one like that anymore. So there'll be some changes to Job 2, a lot of changes actually. And Job 2 production will start the week of or on 11/25. So it looks like November 25th is the first Job 2 production date. So they are scheduled this week. It does say in here Job 1 balance out scheduling. So they're going to finish that out. They're scheduling that for the weeks of 11/4 through the weeks of 11/18. It says very limited to exhausted availability for the 2.3 liter EcoBoost engine. Also, very limited to exhausted for the 20-inch luster nickel painted aluminum, as well as the active comfort package. So those three things are very limited to exhausted availability for the Explorer. So again, hopefully you catch the video that I'm going to do. I'll probably put it as its own video out there on what's changed for the Job 2 for the Explorer, because there's some major changes there. There's some things that have no longer standard equipment on a couple of trim levels. So you'll definitely want to know what those are, so that there's no surprises when you get your vehicle and it doesn't come with some things that you thought you ordered on your vehicle. So, all right, next up, 24 model year Expedition. There are currently 187 unscheduled retail orders in the order bank. The order banks for 24 model year are closed for retail order. Stock is still open. No, stock, never mind. Stock is closed as well because they are done. I think they're done. Yeah, they're balanced out. So no scheduling this week for Expedition. 24 model year has balanced out. They're not going to schedule any more Expeditions for 24 model year production. They've got it figured out and it's closing out. Now, the 25 model year order bank will open up October 24th, and there's information coming out on the 3rd. So the night of the 3rd, so Thursday night, Ford is doing a big reveal at the Texas State Fair. You can check that out. I don't know if they're going to stream any of that. They're going to have some drones and stuff, and there's a box with the Expedition in it. They're going to open that up, and should be kind of fun. But that's going on this Thursday, and we'll have videos drop as well this Thursday if you want to check and see what's new, because it's an all new 5th generation Ford Expedition. I think you'll be impressed with it. So that is going to be coming, and those order banks will open up a couple weeks after that. So Next up, 25 model year Maverick. And there's currently 4,942 unscheduled retail orders in the order bank. The order banks are open up right now for both for retail and stock. This week they are not scheduling for the Maverick, so no scheduling this week. Don't forget Lobo as a job 2 production, so will not be available until Q1. So they won't be built yet. They're not going to get scheduled yet, and as well as some of those trailer features that they're not really highlighting right now. But hopefully we'll get some information in November about when those will schedule for and all that. And we should be able to get that soon. Now, for looking forward for December or for next month, for October's allocations, they plan to schedule for 8 weeks of production. So your dealer's allocation numbers will be really big next month probably, because they're scheduling for 8 weeks of production through the month of January. So it's December, 3 weeks of December, as well as like 5 weeks in January that they're scheduling for. So sounds to me like they're going to be scheduling this month here in October for the rest of Job 1 production. So they want to kind of move on and be thinking about Job 2. So it gives them some time to make those changes and everything and be ready for that. So there you go. No other notes on the Maverick. There's no, on the commodity report, there's like no constraints, it says. There you go. Next up, 24 model year Ranger. Currently 403 unscheduled retail orders in the order bank. The order banks are closed for retail. They are open for stock for dealers that have any allocations that need to be fulfilled. They are not scheduling this week, just so you know that. And I forgot to mention, order banks are closed now for 24, but they will open for the 25 model year along with the Bronco, October 15th. So just so you know that, no schedule this week, but as we look forward to next month's October's allocations, they will be used for December build dates and for 3 weeks of balance out scheduling. So they're going to finish out 24 model year scheduling for the December build dates. And again, just like Bronco, they're going to have a 25 model year will start production in January of 25 calendar year. So there you go. Next up, 24 model year Super Duty. Currently 10,385 unscheduled retail orders in the order bank. The order banks are open up for not only the 25 model year, but also the 24 model year. So, but we're going to be talking about scheduling for 24 model year here as we wrap this up. On the for the Super Duty, they're going to be scheduled this week for production dates for Kentucky for the weeks of October 28th through November 25th, so a full month there. And for Ohio, for dates December 2nd through December 16th. So they're going to different dates, depends on the plant there for you. So there you go. And here's some of the different notes for the Super Duty for this week. It says new enhancement effective 8/20. All 24 model year Super Duty XL and XLT orders will be excluded from the wholesale availability calculation. So when we figure out allocations for dealers, they always figure in the vehicles that are on the dealer lots. Those XL and XLTs will not be figured into that as a penalty for taking away allocations, which is good because we got a bunch. And then it does say they are looking for orders for the F350 dually and F450 and 550 chassis with the diesel engines and the 7.3 chassis engines without the exhausted Dana axles, it says. So they're looking for specific builds here. And they also want dealers to order some F250s and 350s with the 6.8 liter XLs without the heavy duty standard alternator, and F3 250s and 350 XLTs and Lariats with the 7.3 liter engine without the fifth wheel and gooseneck hitch prep package. So at some point they got to stop asking dealers to do that, because we have a lot full of XLT with the 7.3 liters out there, and which is why they're not going to penalize dealers for having those, because they're asking dealers to take them, because they want to be able to say they produce a certain number and they hope to sell those. But the reality is a lot of these Super Duty buyers want their diesels. So limited availability for the pickup box Delete with the 6.8 liter engine. So the Lariat version is limited, as well as the rest of these features here, which is the 20-inch dark carbonized gray, high gloss painted aluminum, and the matte black hub cover center ornaments. That's optional on STX and XLT Sport and standard on the Sport. And then also your lug nut cap that's included in the 17 and 18-inch argent painted steel with the painted hub covers and center ornaments, those with the 10.5 axle size. So that's an issue. The lug cap that's included on the F250s and F450 pickups with the 4-wheel drive, single rear wheel, 649 or 64L. Well, all dualies, all the 450s are dualies, so I don't know. Anyway, and then also the wheel ornament that is included in the 2-wheel drive, single rear wheel with the black hub covers on and the 10.5 axle. Those are also, but that's it for that Super Duty. Now, looking forward for the Super Duty for next month. Don't forget, they are going to still be scheduled for 24 model year for the Ohio truck plant. And they're scheduling most of that this month to get that finished out for that plant. But for the Kentucky truck plant, they're going to be scheduling for startup of 25 model year, 3 weeks of production for those early December build dates. And then they did say, a note in here, F450 production for 25 model year has been increased from 2% production to 5% production. That is a big deal. We've been asking for that, and it's more than doubling production for the 25 model year of the F450, which is really good because a lot of people have been waiting for the 450s. All right, next 25 model year F-150. There's currently 2,699 unscheduled retail orders in the order bank. The order banks are open up for the 25 model year. And so you can have that. They are scheduling now for 25 model year. In fact, this week they're going to be scheduling for the Dearborn truck plant for the weeks of 11/11 through 11/18. And then it does say that this is for Detroit truck plant 25 model year startup scheduling. So they're going to start scheduling for the 25 model years this week. No retail orders will be considered for scheduling until okay to buy is achieved. And Raptor R retail orders will be considered for scheduling this week. And then Kansas City Assembly Plant is not scheduling this week. And then they do need some 25 model year builds for the Detroit truck plant. Anyway, for stock. And then there you go. It says spec changes and cancellations for 24 model year were shut off on 8/29. So there you go. And then moving forward for next month for October's allocations for those December production, they're going to produce for 3 weeks. They're going to schedule for 3 weeks of production in December. Again, those first 3 weeks. And the Raptor production or capacity is 60% for the standard base Raptor, 40% for the Raptor 37. That is a big change. Raptor 37 production, about 10% increase from what it was in 24 model years. So that's a big deal. All right, next and last is the 24 model year Transit. Currently 3,072 unscheduled retail orders in the order bank. The order banks are open up right now. I think they're closing October 23rd. It's only it's been kind of quiet on that. They are scheduled this week for production weeks 10/21 through 11/25. Transit orders with the Transit Trail will not be selected for scheduling this week. Transit orders with the dual rear wheel and the chrome HID headlights or the black HID headlamp will not be selected for scheduling either. Limited availability for the all cutaways and chassis cabs, the high roof extended van, and the Sync 4 with the AM/FM stereo and the 12-inch display. So those are some limited availability options there. And looking forward to next month for October's allocations to be used in December build dates. They are going to schedule for 3 weeks of production. It is going to be the balance out for 24 model year for the Transit next month for those December build dates. And it seems like to me they're going to go along with like Bronco and Raptor or Bronco and Ranger and such, where they're going to start production for the 25 model year in 25 calendar year in January. So there you go. So that's all the information I have for not only this week, but also the plan for that Ford has for the different models for next month or for October for those December build dates. So if you have any questions, drop them down below. If you're watching this on the Wednesday recording, if you're watching it live with us, we can take your questions right now.